Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to another Madden 22 Ultimate Team video on the channel, and today we are going to be breaking down every single team builder that has been revealed along with their stats. We have 12 team builders in total that have been revealed, like I said, along with their stats, but obviously we know every single team builder. There was that leak by Mutt Leaks where we went over that in yesterday's video, so check out that video if you have not already. But before we get into the rest of this video, guys, make sure you guys drop a like down below and subscribe with notifications on if you guys have been enjoying the vids and you do not want to miss any coming out in the future. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get right into it. Like I said, we're just going to be kind of going over these 12 team builders, and I'm going to be pointing out my favorites and which ones I think are the best and which ones I think you guys should be picking up day one or within the first couple weeks of Mutt to make your teams better. Starting off, the first one, and I believe the most recent team builder we got revealed, was L'Jarius Sneed. He was revealed on Friday along with all the cornerbacks, linebackers, and safeties. And this L'Jarius Sneed looks really solid, man. He's got a man-to-man archetype, which is not too bad. 89 speed, 88 excel, 84 agility, 88 jumping, with a 77 play rate, 79 man, 76 zone, and a 76 press. Looks fantastic, extremely athletic and agile. Got really good speed, really good jumping, and his coverages are a little bit iffy, but that speed is really going to help him hold up. And what makes me feel a lot more confident about this card is the fact of the AJ Terrell we had last year. And there was another corner. It might have been like William Jackson or someone. No, it wasn't William Jackson. No, I think it was Mike Hughes, where they both had like 90 speed, but they didn't have like the best coverages, but they held up great. They were part of some of the best teams in Madden at the beginning of the game last year, so I think these 84 team builders will be fantastic, and I think this L'Jarius Sneed is definitely one of the best ones we've seen so far, if not the best, honestly. L'Jarius Sneed looks fantastic. Moving on to the second one we have revealed, we got CeeDee Lamb right here. Now, I really like deep threat archetype on receivers. He's got that, obviously. He's got 87 speed, 83 jumping, 79 catch, 78 catch in traffic, 81 spec catch with a 77 short, 78 mid, and a 79 deep. I'm not a huge fan of this card, man. He's got similar speed to a lot of receivers we've seen so far, especially from the team builder promo. So I don't think that speed is super uncommon to see, so it's not crazy characteristic. And then everything else he's just blatantly average at. Like, his route running is a little scary, nothing above 80 right there. And then his catching, he's got solid spec catch and solid jumping, but other than that, he's just not really amazing at anything. We'll have to see his after the catch stats, but I mean, obviously he's a receiver, so if you get him, might as well use him. That 87 speed is still going to be good, but I'd imagine there are going to be better receivers who have better height than him, same speed, and better route running and better catching. So I don't know, CeeDee Lamb looks okay. Obviously he's a receiver, so that does improve his value a little bit, but I don't know. I'm not a fan of the CeeDee Lamb card just because of his height, route running, catching, all that kind of stuff. A little bit underwhelming. Coming up next, we got David Njoku revealed on the same day as CeeDee Lamb. But David Njoku's actually somewhat solid. He's not amazing, but he's going to be a good number 2, number 3 tight end on teams, especially if you need a good run blocker. He's got 84 speed, 70 strength, 78 catching, 82 catch in traffic with an 83 spec catch, 78 short, 74 mid with a 69 run block. Nice. Now, I believe that's the best run block we've seen so far. We have not seen George Kittle, and I'd imagine he's gonna have better run block, or maybe like a Hunter Henry as well. But David Njoku's got the best run block we've seen so far, even better than Darren Waller. So I really like this David Njoku card because of that. Maybe once we see like Hunter Henry's card and he's got better run blocking, this David Njoku loses a little bit of value, but he's got really solid speed for a tight end. He's got really good size. David Njoku's almost like 6'5". He's got solid enough route running for a tight end, especially of his height and size and speed caliber, so it's not too bad. And then his catching is surprisingly good as well, plus that 69 run block, of course, is nice, but it's also really solid and gonna be able to hold up against those tackles and those linebackers, especially on run plays. So like I said, maybe he's not your prime tight end. Maybe you want to get like a Travis Kelce or a George Kittle or a Darren Waller, and you have David Njoku at number 2 just to bring in on those run plays or on those 2 tight end sets where he's either blocking, running those short routes where he can make physical contact and run through guys. But David Njoku looks pretty solid. I definitely think he's not a bad option, but I still think L'Jarius Sneed's the best option so far. Coming up next, we got a coverage outside linebacker always consistently good. We got Anthony Barr coming in, 83 speed, 84 excel, 75 strength, 83 tackle with a 79 play rate and a 75 block shed. Now, like I said, he is a completely coverage linebacker, not known for his pass rushing, so ignore the power and finesse move. We're gonna have to see what his zone coverage, his man coverage, all that kind of stuff is, but this card looks okay so far. Like I say in all my videos, it really depends on how good user linebackers are this year, because in the past couple years they haven't been good. They haven't been able to jump. Safeties have been the predominant thing. So if linebackers are actually going to be good users this year, it's going to be great, because Anthony Barr is 6'5" with 83 speed at linebacker, and he's probably going to have solid zone coverage. So I think this Anthony Barr could be fantastic if the users are good, but if not, I don't know about it. He's still a pretty solid run stopper. Like I said, it really depends on that zone coverage, because if he has really bad zone coverage, you can't leave him out there CPU controlled, because he will not be able to guard anyone. Especially since he's a linebacker, he already can't guard receivers, so he won't even be able to guard tight ends if his zone coverage is bad. So he's either a user, if users are good, or he's going to need great zone coverage to be able to fly around the field and hold tight ends CPU controlled. But so far with what we see in Anthony Barr looks solid. I mean, it's really depends on more information coming out about this Anthony Barr card, but I'm not too mad about that. He seems pretty solid from what I've seen so far. And then moving on, we got another receiver, pretty solid one in Clayton Sutton. Now, once again, I'm not super high on this receiver. CeeDee Lamb, he did have the better speed. I will say Clayton Sutton has the better catching stats, similar route running. CeeDee Lamb had a little bit better deep route run, but Clayton Sutton's got the little bit better short, so it evens out there. I don't know. I really don't like physical archetype receivers. He doesn't have amazing speed, especially for a team builder card. That's not great. Really solid jumping, but he's not going to be able to burn any corners with that kind of speed, and there's no route running to make up for it. So I'm not a fan of this Clayton Sutton card. I think the CeeDee Lamb is better than this Clayton Sutton card, which is it's tough to say, because I'm not a fan of either of the cards, but I think CeeDee Lamb is a little bit better than this card. Obviously, it's how it is with all receivers. If you get him, you might as well use him, because he's not unusable. He's got usable speed, usable catching, close to non-usable route running, but it's just enough usable to where this card, he's just going to be about average. Like, there's nothing particularly wrong with him. The deep route running is a little scary, but like, he just doesn't excel at anything, and that's, I think, what you're looking for when selecting a team builder. You want the best guy possible. So I don't know if Clayton Sutton's going to be a good option, but he's fine. If you get him, might as well use him. But then moving on, we got a quarterback coming up. We got Justin Herbert. Now this card is going to be a budget beast day one. Now there are a ton of quarterbacks that are going to be able to get free off the rip. We got Trevor Lawrence, obviously we got Mahomes, we got Brady, and we have all those core leads. We got A-Rod, the superstar KO one, and we even have A-Rod's core lead, which is going to be used. Lamar is going to be used a lot. I know all of those guys are definitely going to be used, just because they're the guys you always use at the beginning of the Madden. But Justin Herbert is a serious candidate. This card is really good. 89 throw power is really what stands out about this card. He's going to get really solid abilities, because I'm assuming he's going to have Gunslinger archetype, or he's going to have Improviser. Now, in years past, Gunslinger hasn't been too good, but last year it wasn't too bad, and then Improviser in Madden 20 was fantastic. So it really depends on how good archetypes for quarterbacks are this year. But 78 speed is very good, especially for quarterback early in the year, especially with a guy with 89 throw power. He's got solid accuracy, and he's solid on the run, solid in play action. It really depends on some more stats we see as well, but this Justin Herbert looks like a solid day one quarterback. That throw power plus speed is going to be killer, as well as he should be able to make the passes. He'll obviously make mistakes. He's only an 84 overall card, but he should be able to get it done for you day one, especially if you only got the standard edition and you were only able to get your free team builder card. You didn't do any of the rookie premieres. You didn't get the Mahomes or the Brady. Herbert's not a bad option. Definitely not a bad option at all. But now we also got Deshaun Jackson. Now, I am a huge fan of this card. Now, what you're probably saying is, this card looks very similar to CeeDee Lamb, and I would agree with you, but he's got deep threat archetype, which I'm a fan of. We talked about that on CeeDee Lamb. I think that improves his value, but he's got 89 speed. Now, obviously, CeeDee Lamb 87 speed is solid enough. It's good, but 89 speed is great. That is Tyreek Hill speed right there, 89 speed. So I think that moves him to an upper tier above CeeDee Lamb. him. He's got almost identical catching stats, almost the same jumping, but he's got better route running. That 82 deep route run is actually really solid, and obviously the medium and the short are a little scary, but that 82 deep route run plus 89 speed pretty much just makes him a budget Tyreek Hill, and that's what I see this Deshaun Jackson card as, and I think that's good, man. He's if for those guys who just can't afford the 87 overall Tyreek Hill, get this Deshaun Jackson. He's gonna play pretty much the same, except he's gonna have worse catching and worse deep route running, maybe a little less route running in total, but Deshaun Jackson is definitely a really solid card, best receiver we've seen so far, and I'd say maybe the second best choice so far behind L'Jarius Sneed. I don't know, Justin Herbert's a good card, obviously, but I'd say Deshaun Jackson is the second best choice so far, and then maybe Herbert. But now we also got Landon Collins coming in from the Washington football team, also played for the Giants, obviously. He's got 83 speed, 86 excel, 80 tackling, 82 play rec, 85 pursuit with a 71 man, 79 zone, and an 86 hit power. Now this card, I'm iffy on it because this card is going to be the perfect box user. If you want to bring a safety down into the box, even if you don't want to use him, you just want to have him over the middle, this card is going to be fantastic. I don't know if I like this card as safety though. That is not enough speed at safety, and that man coverage is not enough at safety. But like I said, this card is incredible in the box. He's got incredible hit power and pursuit, so he's going to be able to keep up with tight ends, especially with that 79 zone coverage. He's going to be able to lay the boomstick. He's going to be really good in the run and just blowing up the gaps and getting to the backfield and killing the running backs, as well as that speed in that role of the linebacker is good enough, while in the role of the safety, who's literally all over the field, it's not quite good enough. So Landon Collins, you run him in the box, you run him as your user linebacker, I think he's going to be fantastic. At safety, not as much, but he's still pretty solid. Landon Collins looks like a very good card, and definitely a good contender to take your free one. And now we got Deebo Samuel. Deebo Samuel, I'm more of a fan of this card than like a CeeDee Lamb, and definitely Clayton Sutton, but I don't know if I like this card over Deshaun Jackson just because of the route running. Now he got one less speed than Deshaun Jackson. He's got way better jumping and way better catching stats. So there's your argument, but I'm not a fan of the physical archetype. Deebo Samuel is a very utility guy. He's great after the catch, so that's going to be a big thing. He's going to have great juke and spin, and we'll have to see all those stats, his agility, all that kind of stuff. But I believe he's got almost identical route running with Clayton Sutton, so that scares me a little bit. I really like this card, and I think him and Deshaun Jackson are very close, but I think I give Deshaun that edge just because of that deep route run plus speed. And the catching stats aren't super different, so I don't know if you'll notice a huge difference unless the thresholds are 80. Then you'll notice a huge difference. But once again, not a fan of the physical archetype. I think deep threat is going to be better this year, so I'd take Deshaun Jackson just by a sliver, but Deebo, definitely not a bad option at all. And then also, I'd say this might be my favorite receiver, Chase Claypool. Now, obviously, when we talk about guys like Deshaun Jackson, he is like, what, 5'10", 5'11", maybe even 5'9". He's not very tall. But Chase Claypool, he's got 87 speed at 6'5". That's why CeeDee Lamb wasn't as good. He had like 87 speed, and he's what, like 6 foot, 6'1", which isn't too bad. But Chase Claypool looks unbelievable. He's got the best catching stats we've seen so far out of any of the team builder cards, and by a significant margin, by the +3, +2 on all of them. He's got incredible jumping plus speed, making him a nuts jump ball receiver, and then he's got pretty much the best route running we've seen. As a card, he's got the same deep route running as Deshaun Jackson. Jesus, he's got the same short route run as Clayton Sutton, and then the same medium route run as a lot of the guys we've seen. So he's got the best route running, best catching, and he's got top tier speed with the best height we've seen so far. So I think Chase Claypool is the best receiver you can take. Although if you're purely looking for speed, take Deshaun Jackson. But if you want like a really well-rounded 6'5" speed receiver who's going to win jump balls, take Chase Claypool. Both are fantastic options. This guy might be my number one. I don't know. It's very close between him and L'Jarius Sneed. And then we got Jalen Smith, another user linebacker who's going to be an outside guy who can pass rush a little bit more than Anthony Barr. That 66 finesse move will be solid enough to where he can disrupt the passer once in a while, but that's really it. Like I said, with Anthony Barr, we got to see the zone coverage on this guy to see whether he's going to be viable to be CPU controlled. But if their users are back for linebackers this year, he's going to be fantastic. 86 speed, 87 excel is really good for a user. 73 strength, 83 tackles, 79 play rec, 72 block shed. He's pretty much just a pure speed guy. He's got some size on him. He can stop the run a tiny bit. He can pass rush a tiny bit. But he's going to be a fantastic user if linebacker users are good. Simple as that. And I think they'll be solid this year. I don't think they'll be quite as bad as they were last year, to the point where they were unusable last year. So I think Jalen Smith will be really, really solid, and a solid outside linebacker card option if you're looking for a good coverage guy and a good user. And then we got Sterling Shepard. Now, I do like the Sterling Shepard card. Tiny bit. This card, I'd say, is still better than the CD Lamb for sure. I say he's better than Clayton Sutton, but I don't think he's better than the Deebo, Deshaun, or Sterling Shepard. So he's in that mid-range, not Sterling Shepard, Chase Claypool. I don't know how I got those confused. I'm a fan of route runner archetype. I'd say it's below deep threat for me, but 87 speed, 86 jump is really, really solid. He's got solid height, solid enough catching stats, and solid route running. I mean, he's fine. Like I said, he's better than CD. He's better than Clayton Sutton, but I wouldn't say he's better than Deebo, Deshaun, or Claypool. So he's right in that mid-range where he's not too bad. Like I said, you really can't go wrong with the receivers. There's no real bad receivers unless they have like terrible speed, and then there's the top tier guys. There's always the okay receivers and the incredible receivers. That's pretty much how it goes. But yeah, guys, that is pretty much it. Those are all of the team affinities that have been revealed to us so far. That is all we know. Obviously we saw all the team affinity players and who they are, but this is the guys that we've got their stats on, and I wanted to talk about them on video, give you guys my ranking on who I think you should take. My top 3 guys are Snead, Claypool, Jackson, kind of in that order. You could rearrange any of them and I'd be fine with it, but those 3 guys are fantastic. You could throw guys like Landon Collins in that conversation, Jalen Smith, Justin Herbert. They're all very, very solid, and I believe you're going to be getting yourself a free team builder by doing some missions at the beginning of the year, so you should be able to get one of these guys free if you play the game a lot. But yeah, guys, that is going to be the video. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to drop a like down below and subscribe with noties on. But yeah, I'll see you boys in the next one. Peace out.